Well, this may be the age of solar and nuclear, but toxic coal ash is still an issue. Kathleen Shaw with the Capital News Network reported this earlier in the week. Virginians could see an additional $5 charge on their power bills after Democratic Governor Ralph Northam, Republican House Speaker Kirk Cox, and a bipartisan, my favorite word, group of legislators announced an agreement on Thursday to clean up large ponds of toxic coal ash throughout the state. And you'd be surprised how many there are and how close they are to where you live. The $3 billion plan is to remove coal ash, the residue from power plants, from sites near Virginia's waterways within 15 years. Democratic Senators Scott Sorovell of Fairfax, who also represents parts of Prince William and Stafford County, and Amanda Chase of Chesterfield began the first team effort to address the problem 3 years ago. Chase, Sorovell, and Senator Frank Wagner, Republican from Virginia Beach, are sponsoring legislation to close the coal ash sites, clean them up, and prohibit the further construction of the sites. Sorovell's Senate bill, which is numbered 1533, specifically targets the ponds in Prince William, Chesterfield, Fluvanna counties, and the city of Chesapeake. And I think most of us know where the ponds are in Prince William. Dominion Energy, which operated the coal-fired power plants responsible for the ash, would pass along the cost of the cleanup to customers. The company would be required to use local labor and local resources when practical to remove the material. Chase has filed two bills, one SB Senate Bill 1009 and the other Senate Bill 1743, prohibiting coal ash ponds in the Chesapeake Bay watershed and requiring the closure of existing ponds. She said she is excited to work with her colleagues to solve this problem. Clean water is a bipartisan issue, Chase said. If you think of the cost of cancer and compare it to a $5 a month charge, that's nothing. If the legislation becomes law, that amount would begin to appearing on Dominion customers' bills starting in 2021. Virginia has been storing coal ash in ponds, this might find you a bit staggering, since the 1930s, and nothing's changed. Dominion Energy's website states that it has 11 coal ash ponds and 6 coal ash landfills, totaling about 27 million cubic yards of coal ash statewide. The plan requires the company to recycle a minimum of 7 million tons by the 15-year mark. In a statement, Dominion Energy Representative Dan Gnest said the company supports the comprehensive agreement reached by the governor, legislative leaders, and members of the General Assembly that accomplishes the clean closure, minimizes truck traffic, and prudently manages customer costs for the closing of the ash ponds at our power stations. Governor Ralph Northam described the bipartisan agreement as historic and said the plan is a breakthrough in protecting the people and the environment of Virginia. Our effort will ensure we are disposing of coal ash in the safest, most environmentally responsible way. As they exist now, we run the risk that the coal ponds and coal ash fields could contaminate the drinking water, our tributaries to the Chesapeake Bay. I think the environmental impact far outweighs these costs. By the way, Governor Northam is also a doctor, so this is something very near and dear to him. Northam said 25% of the coal ash must be recycled into concrete, asphalt, or other construction materials. Coal ash that isn't recycled would be removed to landfills certified by the United States Environmental Protection Agency or other modern pits at the site of power plants whose lining will prevent contamination. These are specially certified hazardous waste disposal sites. Democratic Delegate Jennifer Carroll Foy, who lives near the Possum Point Power Station, represents Prince William and Stafford, which has 4 coal ash ponds in Prince William County. She said she commends her colleagues, her constituents, and the power company for compromising on a solution. Coal ash is something that's very personal to me, having Dominion's coal ash pond in my backyard. That does kind of bring it home. Foy said arsenic, lead, and mercury, all pretty nasty stuff, needed to be removed from the community so it would not disturb and have poison in our playgrounds and lead in our water.
Now over to the sports desk with George Kerns. George, what do you have in sports?
Thanks, guys. George Kerns here for CVTV Sports. In NBA news, the Washington Wizards are 22-29, 4 games behind Miami in the Southeast Division. LeBron James is still out due to a groin injury and has no timetable set for his return. Golden State, Denver, Houston, Toronto, and Milwaukee all lead their respective divisions. In men's college basketball, Virginia gets by NC State 66-65 in overtime, and Virginia Tech keeps up to their winning ways. In NFL news, the Super Bowl is Sunday at 6:30 on CBS, the New England Patriots versus the LA Rams. In NHL news, the Washington Capitals are 27-17 with 60 points. Tampa Bay, the Islanders, Winnipeg, and Calgary all lead their respective divisions. In golf, Justin Rose wins at Torrey Pines, winning the Farmers Insurance Open, and Nathan Chen stands out at the U.S. Figure Skating Championships, winning his 3rd consecutive national title, beating runner-up Vincent Zhou by over 58 points. Well, that's a look at sports. I'm George Kerns for CVTV Sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, George.
Well, we want to thank you again for being with us on CVTV News. Deirdre, it's a pleasure to have
Thank
you back.
you, and I am happy that you are well. You are back from your little break.
Yes, I had the flu. I should remind everybody, get their flu shots. It's very important. Some people don't, and, well, they miss 2 weeks of work. Again, thank you for joining us on CVTV News. Good night, and have a good week.